To the Reiner Report now. Vice President Kamala Harris is in California today. She stopped by a recharge center for groundwater.
She's talking about efforts to store water for the dry season. Now, water storage has been at top of minds for lawmakers, especially as the state was hit recently with back-to-back storms.
ABC 10's Morgan Reiner covers all things politics. She is live in the studio tonight. And Morgan, this is a big topic across the state.
Chris and Laura, the governor's press office sent out an email yesterday titled "The 5 Ways California is Storing Water from the Winter Storms." And then a few hours later, Republicans sent out an email saying the 5 ways California is failing to store water from these winter storms.
California was inundated with rain over the last few weeks.
Water flowing to the ocean.
And Republicans like Senator Brian Daly were quick to say the state should be doing more to store the water to use in dry times.
Yes, we need to invest in our infrastructure.
Director of the California Department of Water Resources, Carla Nemeth, told reporters the state does need better infrastructure to capture the water, which she says the state is working on. In this email Thursday, Newsom says the state invested $8.6 billion over the last 2 budget cycles alone to expand groundwater recharge capacity.
We must have the ability to diversify our approach.
Like the project Vice President Kamala Harris visited Friday, the Delta Tunnel, which will help store excess water and divert it to Southern California, and other projects. So what is the biggest complaint from Republicans?
We spend the money to do all the work, but we never actually get the project. That's the point that all of my 5 points are trying to bring out.
That the 7 water storage projects voters approved funding for back in 2014 are taking too long to complete, specifically the Sites Reservoir.
Let's fast track this just like we do for sports arenas.
The Sites Reservoir put out an analysis that said if they were operational over just the last 2 weeks, they could have stored water from more than 2 million farms, businesses, and people.
Which we know, based on last year, is absolutely needed.
I went straight to the director of the project to ask why it's taking so long.
We're currently in the process of securing some critical permits, doing some engineering field evaluations to confirm our construction cost estimate, and lining up our financing. And those are all parts of what are necessary to actually construct the project of this magnitude.
The governor created a strike team last year to expedite the process, something Director Jerry Brown says is about to pay off.
Those 7 projects do take time, and they told me are on track to be completed by 2030, or as I learned from today from the director, 2031 for the Sites Reservoir. Now, the governor's office sent me a statement today, though, that what's currently in place did help save trillions of gallons of water. The 2 largest reservoirs gained enough water to provide 5.6 million households water for a year. Chris and Laura.
Morgan, that is excellent context, although it's a tough topic, right? There's so much to cover, hard to do it in just a few minutes.
And exactly. We barely touched the surface level of how all these different projects work, what is going on in the state, how much funding each project is getting. So our weather team is actually working on a much deeper dive, which you will be able to see shortly.
Okay, sounds good. Morgan, thank you.